Talk here with Daniel Wynn, actually our photographer. What's up, brother?
Hey, how are you?
I came in a little late. I didn't get to chill with you. My apologies. Life gets in the way, as we all know it. And so I'm excited. We're going to talk a little bit about ACL. We all went this past week, and it was awesome. It was a funny incident with me. It was hilarious. But other than that, it was a great time. So, again, we have Daniel Wynn here. A well-known photographer.
All the great photos that we post every week on Instagram, and this is a guy that does it.
Yeah. He's also built a website.
Talented.
If you've been to the UnCommonTalk.com to watch the videos that have been fully edited.
Yeah, absolutely.
I don't know if you've watched those, but he's the one who builds that site for us too. So.
Yeah.
So without further ado, this is Daniel Wynn, everybody. Yeah, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Thanks for having me, guys. Yeah. I'm Daniel. I guess I've known these guys for a couple weeks. I shoot their daily podcast, and they decided to put me on a podcast. So I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, cool.
Well, he's got an interesting story, so that's why he's on the podcast. Because we're at a point in our life where we're not happy necessarily with our careers. Mm-hmm. And I forgot about when you and I met.
Yeah.
That was January 4th. I met up with some friends, and we ended up at this private club. I probably can't say the name. It's pretty crowded, and then Danny walks up to me. He's like, "Hey man, we should shoot with your beard.
Yeah.
Give me a call."
Yeah, at the time I was shooting for True Beard Beard Oil Company, was one of my clients, and he was a perfect match for it.
Yeah, I held on to his card. I was super busy in my schedule in the emergency room, and I texted him like a month later. I'm like, "Hey man, I'm ready to do it." He's like, "Oh no, I don't have that anymore."
Yeah.
And then the mutual friend that we have. I was like, is he like legit? And he's like, yeah, check out his website, shootwithdaniel.com. And I went, I'm like, wow,
yeah,
I need this guy. I bet I can't afford him. And then I called him. He attached whatever, gave me his rates. I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, I sure changed myself.
Speaking of that, your Instagram is caffeine and gasoline.dn.
Yeah, that's cool.
I love reading your Instagram, man. Every time I see it, I'm like, caffeine and gasoline.
So why is it called caffeine and gasoline?
Funny story. I mean, I've seen it floating around a couple times before, but when I first moved to Austin, I had this awesome garage apartment out in 290. I built my first vintage motorcycle. I've been riding since I was 15 years old. And
how old are you now?
33.
All right.
33. So I've been riding for a long time, but I didn't really truly get in touch with it until I started wrenching. I built this 1978 CB550, got it from nothing to running, barely running. I mean, the car was still flooded. But that morning, that first time I spent these months building the bike, I could smell. I mean, I dropped coffee on my shirt, and I could just, when I was riding the fucker for the first time, I just smelled caffeine and gasoline.
That's awesome.
And it kind of stuck with me. But that's a huge passion of mine. Motorcycles, particularly vintage style.
Yeah, I was gonna say, vintage and vintage style. If you don't get me wrong, I'm pretty bit of a novice in this world, but you ride fucking cafe racers.
Yeah, mostly. I mean, I've had everything from new Moto Guzzi's, Triumphs, Harleys, custom bobber hardtails, vintage BMWs. So I've really, truly ridden the spectrum. Even when I was a kid, my friend his father had like MV Gooses, Ducatis, and they were just kind of like, go ahead,
Yeah.
And it's just a very different, visceral ride. I compare it to driving an old Camaro.
Yeah.
When you actually have to drive the vehicle,
yeah,
rather than a new Escalade where it practically drives itself.
Right. Exactly.
It's all manual.
Yeah, exactly. So the visceral
time.
experience of riding a vintage bike is just much more enjoyable.
Nice.
And if you like to tinker on things, well, that's.
Man, I talk about that in sewing machines too. There was someone that was just here a minute ago looking over at my machine. She was like, "Damn, you don't see those anymore." And I'm like, "No, you don't. It's 1973, Japanese made, solid steel, fucking workhorse.
Right.
Like you can run 3 layers of leather through that thing. It's not going anywhere, right?
Yeah,
Whereas you get them now, they're made, no offense in China, but they're made overseas and they're with plastic. It's like, I went to the Cadillac dealership one time with an Escalade. They gave us one, and they tried to sell it to me after having it for 2 months for like a trade for a commercial that we shot for them. And I said, well, what happens if because everything was automated, platinum level edition, fucking super long. Yeah, I said, what happens if all of a sudden the left board doesn't come out when I open the door or something? They're like, oh, no problem, we just replaced the motherboard. I was like, where's the wrenchers? Oh, we don't have mechanics anymore. Everyone's now computer engineers on these cars. And now you look at even Ferraris and Lamborghinis and all that. No offense to the family who owns the dealerships because the cars are pretty, but I'd much rather have a 60s Ferrari or a
Right,
50s
right.
Bentley that mine was made by one guy and yours was made by another guy,
Yeah.
and my guy wrenched with his left hand and your guy wrenched with the right hand, so when the car starts up, the carburetor, the engine sounds
Right,
just
right.
a little different because it was tweaked different. Each one had a
Right.
sound.
Yeah, I think there's just something to be said for, carbureted, naturally aspirated, motorcycles and cars.
Right.
There's just something very visceral to it again, and I don't know, I really enjoy them. So
Yeah.
So before you got into the world of fucking caffeine and gasoline and tattoos and,
I've always had
chamois shirts,
tattoos, but I mean, I
you
think
were in ties and suits and in New York City, right?
oh, not New
Or
York City.
where were you?
Mostly Midland, Texas, West Texas.
So Midland, Texas oil and
Yeah,
gas.
throughout my 20s, I served as vice president of operations for Analyst Oil Company. I had a great mentor, Scott Monette. He owned about $22 million worth of oil production, and in which case I oversaw every workover, new drills. So I did that for years, working and grinding for that corporate world.
So you did the typical American dream, right?
Yeah,
You went to 4 years of college, got a degree.
Barely.
Okay. Well, what'd you
Yeah.
get your degree in?
Well, I studied BSBA and
So a bachelor's,
bachelor's, and then I was
and then you started a normal, regular old
Right.
career.
The funny part is I was the general manager of the Green Lantern. It was a craft cocktail bar back when I was 21. So
Mhm.
most people didn't even know
Is that
what
in
old
San
fashioned
Antonio?
in San Antonio.
Yeah, I love that place.
Yeah, so Steve
little
Mahoney and
home
I
place.
opened that bar. I was a very young man, 21 years old. I ran the bar. One of my favorite patrons that would come in. He really befriended me. He's a good old boy from Midland. He said to me, Daniel, I've been watching you and knowing you for a year now. Let me ask you one question. What side of the bar do you want to be on? And so he gave me a job offer to run his oil company, open up his San Antonio office, and
Wow.
I got so advanced to the point where I could interpret neutral porosity logs, resistivity logs, calculate water saturations, and drill.
Yeah, don't.
And drill. So, but when we first actually truly spoke, I think we really bonded over
About
one
4
simple
months.
topic. One simple topic, which is what the show is really about. Kind of finding your happiness or your calling, if you will.
Right.
This corporate America is this machine you're driving day in and day out, 9 to 5. I got to a certain point where I was just like, can't do it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. So I truly, followed my passions and, photography particularly.
Yeah, I remember you telling that story. It was pretty incredible, kind of relatable to all of us.
Yeah, and that's how I think, that's one thing we truly have in common.
So when did you make the switch over?
I was 28 years old. I first moved to Austin, and I didn't know a soul. Maybe I knew like 1 or 2 people here. But it gave me a lot of time to, this is right after my divorce. Moved up
Oh
here.
yeah, I forgot.
Yeah, I was divorced. I was married 24, 27, 28. Then I moved up here, and it was a true time for awakening, if you will. I took my time with it. I quit the corporate job stuff. Even after oil and gas, I worked as another executive at Landmark Consolidated. We built the Hilton downtown.
Mm.
So Mark was one of my bosses there. And even after those projects, I just truly decided it was time to do what I really wanted to do. I joke around a lot, and my friends say, oh, sometimes they don't think even have a job. Sometimes every Saturday night, every night could or should be a Saturday night, and every morning could be your Sunday morning.
Yeah.
That Monday, that dreadful Monday, so many Americans go through Monday and Friday hoping for Friday to come along.
Yeah.
Did I send that to the
Yeah,
show
you
today?
said- I
So
didn't-
Gary Vee posted something today that was like, I hate
Is that-
people that love Fridays. Fuck Friday.
Yeah, I don't get it.
Because what's the point of looking forward to one day when you have every day in front of you?
Right.
And he's like, I get excited for Monday because everyone's dreading it, so I get to wake everyone up. And he's like, it's like so crazy to me. Like you just said something that like hit the nail on the head. Like Aaron and I joke about it all the time, and you having, your schedule's pretty set, but you can work on a Sunday, a Monday, a Tuesday, a Wednesday, every day is a day, and you're 24 hours, so you
Right,
are from
right.
one day to one day.
Yeah.
Or me, like I'm going to Dallas tomorrow, and then all of a sudden, my entire day Friday is slammed with clients, but I still have Saturday and Sunday to either be with family or see clients. Like it's not a fucking holiday. If someone wants to see me on a Sunday while I'm in Dallas for 72 hours, I'm gonna see them.
Yeah,
It's
absolutely.
not a day of like, yes, if I was really religious, it would be a day of rest. But it's I think the entrepreneurial world doesn't have that world
Just laugh at
anymore.
that.
Yeah.
But it's
Oh,
true,
I-
I wish my wife says, I wish you could give us an entire day.
Yeah.
Oh,
But do you
Oh.
want to in the entrepreneurial spirit? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
it's hard.
It is hard to stop for a full day.
Well, I mean, with cell phones and this, there was a transition where jobs expected you to be immediately accessible.
Dude.
Like
attorneys, doctors, we have 2 phones. Pager. If your pager went off, you were expected to get back to them.
Yeah.
Well, there are some doctors still have pagers, but not me.
Not you. Not you. What did you just text?
But
So
you know what I mean?
didn't
The
pick up-
expectation was
I
there.
didn't pick up on that trend of like, oh, if I text you right now, like you need to text me back like right now.
Oh.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'll get back to you about 3 days or so when I'm ready. And I was a medical director of an ER then, and the vice president lady, who was not a doctor over me, she's like, I can't get in touch with him. I'm like, I didn't know. I was like, I'm doing my job. Like, I didn't know. So you have to get that constant feedback. You make them feel okay with it.
Yeah.
So you brought up an interesting age, 28. We're all been through 28. I personally think that was a time when I really kind of came into my own. I actually say, I tell people that my 28th year, when I was 28, that was my favorite year of my life.
It's kind of pivotal,
It was, you think maybe when you turn 18 or maybe you turn 21, like you're gonna feel set as your soul and your spirit. And what I
That's great. I got married that year.
I didn't like. There was a whole growth period from 21 to 28. I mean, I look back at like how much of a idiot I was.
Yeah, absolutely. I look back all the time, and when you're at
I
that
don't
age,
want to
you
talk about
truly think you know it all. You know
pre-sprite.
something about something.
Yeah.
But as you get older, you start reflecting, and it's a completely different perspective that you now kind of possess. It makes you wiser and hopefully make better decisions.
Yeah, 28, like that was the year I'd say that's when I was born. Because that's when I don't remember who I was before that.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, I was like, what the hell was I doing? That's so stupid. And that's when I started progressing. 29. And then, that was when my son was born. So that's when everything changed for me. So I've only been 3.5 years into my life.
Yeah, 31.
Mm-hmm.
Ross is going to be 35 next week. I'm doing a podcast next Tuesday, 16th, on Ross's birthday. I'm
yes,
41.
it is.
I'm 41. Tell us more about like the feelings and experiences you went through, like when you're like, I am done.
Oh, okay.
Like this, I'm not doing this.
I just kind of had a series of epiphanies, to be honest.
Yeah,
true epiphanies. Well, one of them, I started really looking, not to say anything bad about my ex-wife or anything, but that whole experience was very powerful for me. I think in today's society, you're not required, but you're expected to go to college, to get married, have a good career, have children, and you're kind of like a robot a little bit.
Yes.
I mean, some people truly like value that, and I get it and I respect it. But for me, after experiencing that, I just kind of knew it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In the sense of, especially not at that age. Maybe, in the future, sure. But when you're that young, you kind of don't know shit yet. Especially now. Back then when people were getting married 18, 19 years old, they died when they were 45. So that's different. So our lifespan is a little changed, and I think our society has changed too. But going back to it.
People want to go to school for 20 years and go fucking work their ass off for 20 years so they can live free for 50.
Right. I don't know.
That's the mindset now.
Yeah.
So most people aren't focused in the first 15 to 20 years after school. Mm-hmm. Not most, but a lot. And more people are getting this way to where they're okay with we've talked about it before, the modern Wonder Woman, right? Mm-hmm. The single, solo, boss babe entrepreneur that is wrecking shop and taking names left and right, and they're fucking killing it, right? But they're not focused on getting married right now. They're focused on their careers.
Right. Yeah.
And then there's the men also being like, well, fuck, these women are going crazy. Let's go build some crazy tech and change the world. So then you've got all the men doing it. I've just noticed that, whereas the clients that I have that are in their 40s, okay, that are in the tech world, they have been married once or twice, or maybe they're still married now, and they're trying to go back and play against these 21-year-olds, 25-year-olds, 28-year-olds who are at Capital Factory fucking wrecking shop, that are single and that are working on a Sunday at 4 o'clock in the morning after being in Vegas, partying until 2, getting back off their plane, posting it on Instagram, and then grinding, watching the sunrise, right? Like, the lifestyle of an entrepreneur is fucking insane. It's insane. I know, and what you're talking about, but also the lifestyle of a corporate American.
It's a different type of
insane.
Yeah, it's different,
Because you're not accountable to yourself. You're accountable to someone else.
One thing that I think you and I were talking about is that the one of the measures of success in the United States is like the money. Like,
Right.
you know, like,
Sure, where you live and you know how much
Your
money
zip
you
code
make,
and how
Yeah.
much money you got.
and what you know,
What you
I mean,
drive.
you're truly being put in a perspective box. And then
Yeah.
what happens is that there's these people we're just trying to impress these people around them.
yeah.
They really give a
Right.
shit about you.
Yeah.
Wow, like
Co-workers.
how do you feel? How do you feel about yourself? How do you feel about
I'm-
your own
Dude,
life?
people ask me that about
And where
brands all the
I'm going,
time, and I'm like,
so-
does it really fucking matter what label is on the outside of your garment? No,
Yeah. No.
it doesn't.
Yeah.
You think
No,
so,
I mean,
maybe?
yeah, I agree with you.
Yeah, but it doesn't at all. Like, I mean, all
for
that
the most-
matters is the energy that's carrying that fucking garment. Because
Yeah.
no one knows, and no one gives a shit the minute you leave the room who you're wearing.
Yeah.
All they care about is, wow, that person really made a nice impression on me.
Right. They,
And
yeah.
all that matters about the impression is whatever fits you. And Rachel Zoe said it perfect one day. I'll never forget it. She said, you know, someone who's got style that can wear a Chanel jacket with some Target jeans.
Yeah.
Because they get it. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's just a fucking cool piece.
Well, it's
And with my brand, it's the same thing. Like, whatever. Like, you choose what you want. With your photography, whatever you do, it's like, what do you want to do?
So
That's why
I
you have
did
a
go through
following
the-
of what you do. You're so diverse with your clientele. You're shooting beard brands, you're shooting fashion, you're shooting motorcycles, you're shooting lifestyle. Like gasoline.dn, go look at his Instagram. As a photographer, it's so. It's not
kinda
just
everywhere,
one thing.
yeah.
It's women, it's men, it's cars, it's architecture.
What's your favorite thing to shoot?
I'm a portrait photographer by nature.
Okay.
I really like shooting people. I'm a people person. So to capture that person and to kind of show the world, if you will, what you see in them, and then it's just it's very
So I
rewarding
guess-
for me.
So I
Yeah.
guess portrait photography, I think of like sitting in a studio and like portrait.
Yeah,
but I
see,
guess
that
you're
too,
saying
that too, but I
you're
mean-
saying just capturing a person's energy and their image.
Yeah,
Outside,
absolutely.
inside, that's
absolutely.
considered
I-
portrait photography.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
There's a lot that goes with it too, right? I mean, lighting, like mood. Right?
Well,
Well, sure.
Yeah.
So the next thing is Daniel's also my photographer for my Instagram
yeah,
at
nice.
Ryan Crater. The one thing that was really surprising.
It's a lot of fun to shoot, by the way.
Thanks. One thing that was surprising for me is that you do all your stuff inside this camera.
Yeah,
Like, there's like,
that's the workhorse right there.
yeah. I mean, it's not. There's not a setup. You know, like maybe we have lights here that we have in studio. Like I was expecting you to come with some. I don't know, but you just were like, yeah, let's go. We got my camera, and we just walked around, and
Mhm.
you just caught images. Like we just did.
No, they're really good.
You know,
at that
it's
stuff.
a lot
And
of
that's
it's about
on,
a
I think
lot.
that's on you.
A lot of times it's the eye and what the photographer sees. You know, I don't have a lot of equipment. I literally have this body and 3 lenses.
Mhm. So what kind of camera is this for our camera folks out there?
Nikon D810,
Nikon D810. So,
full frame.
all right.
One of the best sensors that they make. It's a great pro camera, but you know you really don't need a lot. I think people buy a ridiculous amount of expensive stuff and they just really don't know how to use it.
Mm.
You know.
Yeah.
And
Just because
you know,
it's
to
the
answer your
best.
question about the lighting and stuff like that. I mean, there's natural light that you can do.
So how did you
much
get your
with.
training in photography?
I shot in high school and that's about it.
Yeah.
I shot in high
class
school.
or-
I shot in high school. Darkroom was, you know, 100% my favorite place to be throughout those 4 years, and then I just dropped off. You know,
You didn't stop it?
I stopped. I wanted to go to Brooks Institute of Photography. I did send my portfolio. I did get in, but I didn't go. That was probably one of my biggest regrets, but I didn't realize that until
Is
recently.
that a photography school?
It's a photography school in Santa Barbara, and but I didn't touch another camera, you know, until I was 29, 28.
Wow.
I built a motorcycle, the CB 550, and I wanted to take photos of the bike.
Yeah.
Oh.
So I started taking photos of the
that-
motorcycle that I
yeah.
just built, and then I started taking photos of people, and then I had such an overwhelming response to it, and I really enjoyed it. So you know, I decided to make a career out of it. And
So I gotta
it's
confess
really
something
great
while we
stuff.
got back to motorcycles. I've never driven a motorcycle.
Yeah,
Dirt
I
bike, motorcycle,
Yeah.
nothing.
You should.
Yeah.
You guys should.
I'll be happy to.
Yeah.
But
some
you'll
levels.
probably get a sleeve.
Do you wear a helmet?
Yes, of course.
Okay.
Of
Good.
Of course, Mom.
You know what they call
Yes.
a motorcycle driver who doesn't wear a helmet?
What's that?
Dick.
Organ donor.
Or you
Oh.
know, for sure.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Wife
Wife
number
knows
you.
I've never ridden a lot of dirt bikes, but wife.
It's a
knows
very,
I'd
it's a
ride
very
a
dangerous
motorcycle.
thing, you know.
I
It's
would kill
extremely
myself.
dangerous.
All right. So tell us a little bit about your heritage.
First generation Vietnamese here, actually.
Okay.
My father came here in 1975. And he always used to tell me I came here with nothing but my flight boots on.
Wow.
And the fact that he came here when he was 30 years old, spoke French and Vietnamese, no English. 30 years later, completely retired with commercial real estate. Very successful dude in the big scheme of things, I guess.
Yeah.
It was a really impressive story.
How did he? Okay.
Yeah, he was a bomber pilot. My grandfather, he kind
For
of
which military?
South Vietnamese American Air Force. First lieutenant, bomber pilot. My grandfather, you gotta have to start with my grandfather. He was the 1946 national tennis champion of Vietnam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
We have beautiful photos of him actually like staring at the trophy, getting the trophy. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
But he was the leading physician as well on the hospitals. Obviously, the communists took it over.
Your grandfather?
My grandfather
Was a physician?
Physician, taught medical students. So my father joined the war to fight for the independence, of course.
The Vietnam War.
The Vietnam War. He lost, obviously. In 1975, he comes over here. I think his first job was crop dusting fucking fields in North Dakota. And truly, he was a refugee.
Yeah.
But
how did he get from the military? That's how he got
Yeah.
it.
Right,
Okay.
the military.
Okay.
A funny story, too. He never spoke about it too much, but I have an uncle. But when he was, once the Saigon gates broke, I heard stories of him stealing a pilot suit, throwing it on his little brother to pose him as a pilot to get on my American Air Force Base to fly him to Thailand.
Man,
Like, so
I have
crazy stuff there.
I have so many friends from Vietnam, the country that's come to the U.S. and they just have these stories. Like like one family, like the daughter that I ended up was in med school with, she was an infant when they were escaping, and they almost left her because she was crying too much. Like they couldn't keep her quiet. But and there's a family of 5 kids. And then, like, last minute, like, as they're getting on the helicopter, like, no, give us the baby, and like, or something like that. And I'm like, oh, I was like born in a hospital in Louisiana, and I've been here. Like,
it's just crazy how everything originates.
Yeah. So I mean, and like,
so dad's successful commercial. So
Actually, he was an art dealer. He owned a art gallery, custom framing store. In which case, they imported like priceless, very expensive woodwork from Belgium, France. Things like that, and he's a great example to show someone that over so many obstacles and so much shit, you can truly overcome it. Anything. So when I look at my problems and I stress out, I kind of revert back to that. I'm just like, don't be a little bitch.
Yeah, I mean, right? Isn't that a great topic to kind of lead in? And then I want to get an ACL, but I want to close on that because you really just said
his
something.
mom.
Okay.
In a minute.
You know my mom?
No. No, you told me.
No, my mom's a wonderful lady too. She has a very colorful story, history herself. But recently, this past January, a few years, I'm not too sure how long it took, but she's finally vetted to be a Buddhist. Shaved her head.
Wow. Yeah.
She's in a monastery in Dallas.
That's cool.
Truly, for someone who,
I mean, we can essentially say your family's well off.
And
your mom
spiritually religious,
spiritual too, I guess too. I mean,
okay.
There's a guiding light that I don't care about the money.
No,
but there's a guiding light that's helping the family succeed. In terms of getting the family here through jump boot, right? Crop dusting to grow into his art world, right? And then now mom spiritual path to a Buddhism.
It's really funny to see, all of that. My mother was not always like that. She was dressed Chanel, Oscar de Renta head to toe. Anything she ever wanted, but she renounced these materialistic things, and just seeing her progression going in her direction has just been really nice for me to see. I didn't understand it for the longest time. Granted, I was furious and angry. Why was she like traveling the world, with this and that? I felt neglected, but at the end of the day, she chose what she wanted to do, so I'm pretty proud of her.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and so that kind of like goes into what you were saying at the end with fuck, just look back at what they had. Like, I think that's a great one lesson from today. I always try to find something that we talk about in there that strikes a nerve, and that's a good one. That like, I don't give a shit like the problems we all have. We all have problems. Like we all have problems every day. If you tell me your day is perfect every day, you lie. But with that being said, I promise you, if you're able to watch this right now on Facebook, or you're gonna watch this at some point, there's someone else that has it worse off.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Or someone
that was such a relieving thing to me.
Someone in your family has had it worse off in the past.
Like, whenever I grew up without money on a farm in South Louisiana, and I was like, I have the worst situation in the world. I'm like, you know what? I do not. I know I don't, and there's always someone worse. And I started hearing that. Like, once I opened my spirit to that, I started hearing that, and I'm like, damn. damn, who is the person who's the worst off?
Yeah, or in your family
that's kind of a
who's
joke,
had
but,
it worse that got you here because they got through.
Standing on shoulders.
I think about great-great-grandpa that had to fucking like get here somehow
Yeah.
to have kids.
Yes.
There were no sonograms. There were no hospitals. I mean, most of the great-grandparents in Texas and Louisiana were born in a barn.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like straight up. Like it wasn't. They weren't born.
My dad
I
likes.
love
there wasn't
stories like
modern
that, to be
medication
honest.
like
I
you
absolutely
have
love
right
stories
now.
like
So
that.
like they had to struggle, and a lot of families had big families. Like, my wife's family, her dad's got 3 brothers. And Mom was just trying to have a daughter. Kept on having a brother. Could you imagine?
No.
Or like your family, how many brothers and sisters do you have, Ryan?
Oh, I'm the younger, so 5.
So you're
wow.
5, and then you
Nah,
have 5.
you have 5 kids.
Jeez, man.
Yeah, I was
Wow,
talking to
that's
a
great.
girlfriend of mine this last week. Her grandfather's got 44 grandkids. Can you imagine Christmas?
No.
Oh man.
9 brothers and 44 grandkids.
They're not from Utah, are they?
No, they're
Oh, yeah.
from Mexico and Texas. So I'm just saying, it was a great thing that you just said to lead into the next part, which talk about fun and being grateful for,
Yeah.
which is ACL.
Oh, I
Live
love
now.
that.
Okay,
and
so-
into a grandfather's keeper kind of deal with Charles, and his great grandfather was the groundskeeper of Zilker Park.
Okay, so we're talking about Austin City Limits Festival. Weekend 1 was last weekend. All 4 of us went and basically hung out all together.
Yeah, it was
I mean,
blast.
it's hard to stick together.
Mhm.
This was the 18th year of Austin City Limits Festival, and now there is a second weekend they split it up. So the second weekend is coming up. You can still catch it.
This weekend.
This weekend, yeah, and we have no connection
I'm
to
not
it.
going to it.
I'll be
No,
I'll be in Dallas.
some people go to both
I don't
weekends.
know
I
why.
don't get it.
Oh,
But
man.
it is based on the TV show on PBS, Austin City Limits, which is the oldest live music television. I just read a plaque outside the new
The W.
theater downtown, the W. Yeah, it's the oldest. And it's so there's great artists, musicians that come on. They do a series, like a season of
Yeah,
TV
it's on
shows.
PBS.
Right,
It's
PBS.
been going forever. Stevie Ray
Yeah.
Vaughan used to be on it. Willie Nelson. I mean,
So-
everyone's been on
So
that show.
tons of history to
It
the
used
show.
to be a campus too, UT campus.
Oh really?
It was
Oh,
the
oh,
original
that's
Austin
right.
City
Yeah.
Limits. It was at Dean Keaton
Oh,
in
wow.
Guadalupe.
Yeah.
It's still there.
Now there's the beautiful theater
Yeah.
at the W in
We
downtown
used to
Austin.
stand around the corner when we do UT. We used to
What's
get
the
in
name of the
line
theater? There's a
Moody.
name for it. Moody.
Movie theater.
Yeah. Yeah.
on
And,
Willie
then,
that was
Nelson
it.
Boulevard.
and the Willie Nelson statue is there. Willie is from Austin. He very much defines this town.
Yes,
Willie for president. I just saw that.
I have a Willie and Snoop 2012 shirt. It's great. It
America
was
might
Trump,
be.
Obama, it
Well,
was
Trump
Willie
won.
Snoop.
Why couldn't Willie win?
I know, right?
Win.
Rock.
Why can't he win?
Seriously.
But
But anyway.
so.
So ACL, let's talk ACL. ACL's been around since 2001. ACL used to only be one weekend, 3 days,
mhm.
Right.
and it was really,
And you went from the
I've
beginning.
been 01, 02, 03. I went through, I think, 06. Then Aaron and I took a break for a little bit. Then I went back like 09, 10.
And
And I think Aaron's last year was like 11 or 12, whatever. And then I've been here and there.
one thing that blew my mind is you said the tickets back then were.
Dude, they were nothing. They were like $20-$30 a day. Now
Yeah.
they're like fucking 300.
Yeah, yeah.
Jeez.
And-
For
and-
3
It's
days.
inflation for
For
three
three
days.
days. I mean,
you know,
you get a lot
You
for
could
300
bring
bucks
whatever
if
you
you break
wanted
it
in
down.
back then. You could bring whatever you wanted in back then. It didn't matter. Like there was
Yeah.
there was nothing. And bands that were so I want to get into this discussion about just music in general. Like Aaron and I were talking about this. I'd come over every day. I'm like, I feel like such a fucking loser. Because I don't know one of these fucking bands, but oh my God, I love Paul. Like I know Odessa, Paul McCartney, and a few here and there, right? But like,
Yeah,
oh my God, like,
Yeah.
you don't know these bands, and,
Yeah,
and it's because every day a new fucking band comes out, a new song comes out, some new track
You know that-
recorded, just like a new podcast
you know what that
comes out
means?
every
You're
fucking
getting old.
day. I mean, it's the same.
What are these
thing. Well,
whippersnappers?
it's also no one has appreciation. What I believe is no one has appreciation for a goddamn record anymore.
Well, a vinyl. Or,
Yeah.
Oh, like, yeah, because
Like no one actually wants. I mean, I listen to
there's
vinyls
not
every day.
albums anymore.
Bullshit. I mean,
Right,
yeah,
that's what you're
Everyone,
saying.
like, everyone
You're saying-
listens to Spotify or Pandora or Apple Music.
So
and you,
one
like,
song
listen-
at a time.
Right.
When
So no one listens to actually how something is composed, like
Yeah.
Dark Side of the Moon, for
Mhm.
example.
Mm.
Fucking listen to the score of Dark Side of the Moon. It'll blow your mind, especially if you sit there and smoke a joint, turn the lights off,
Yeah.
put a candle on, and listen to it.
it was a whole experience.
Exactly.
Mostly an hour worth.
Right.
Yeah.
So you go into ACL and it's like, cool, what am I here for?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Well,
There's no storyline anymore. Now, that one girl who talks about pussies and Viagra and women's empowerment and all that stuff, the girl who looked like Coming to America, she was cool.
Janelle Monáe.
That's it.
We had a great time with that.
She was great.
Yeah.
She's
talented.
Did
She
you
was-
ever shoot for ACL thing?
No.
But my point is, like, in all positivity, like, I feel like I just don't get it because, like you said at the end, you're like, I think this is my last year.
Oh,
and I think
oh,
it has
yeah?
nothing.
Is it? Did you
Oh
say
God.
that?
Yeah. The
Come
first-
next year, you might feel differently.
But I think
Oh, really?
I think it's true. Like, I think this is my last year too, unless like I really want to start going VIP
Friday-
or platinum because it's
Yeah.
like a fucking nightmare.
And that's more exactly.
And like I
mean,
don't have the
this
thing. Now, the
isn't.
kids' world
This
is amazing. Okay.
Let's talk about, so the reason I said this is going to be my last weekend is because Friday night, maybe I just didn't drink when I went. It might be a different experience, but the Paul McCartney crowd, it was so
Dude,
packed.
Metallica was even worse.
Tight.
I saw Metallica.
Well,
Yeah, I heard.
I get a text
I
message.
walked in and walked
I hate
out.
Metallica.
That was him.
Oh,
He was
you
in for
did.
20
You did.
minutes.
Okay.
these guys can whip through the crowd, and they were just getting away from me. I was like the lost kid in the crowd. I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna wait right here until they come back. And they came back.
So
but-
here's the deal. So ACL is fucking awesome. If you've never been, it's incredible.
Yes, it is.
Okay?
It is.
It really is. I was just trying to get to the point of like, who listens to music anymore? Because there's so many bands there that I swear to God, I remember going to ACL and you would know every single band that was on the list.
Well,
every single band.
there is.
And now when you get there, there's so many people
Are there more
just on their
stages?
phones
Yeah.
texting. There's so many people just taking, like, no one's enjoying the fucking music, and myself included. But I didn't know the band, so I'm just like taking pictures of the fucking lights. Cause
Rob,
it's
did
cool.
you know the bands?
Yeah, I knew most of them.
Yeah,
You've
you're
listened
younger
to
than that.
most of the bands.
Like the one we went to go watch was Rez at DJ.
Well, Rez,
Oh, Rez
for
was
sure.
good.
Yeah,
That was
yeah.
fun.
Rez is yeah.
But like not most
Like-
of them. Like Phoenix,
But-
years ago.
I remember seeing Phoenix 10 years ago when
Yeah.
they first came.
I heard them, but
Oh, really?
Yeah, people when they're from Paris when they first came, all their songs first dropped. It was like what, 09, 08? They were at ACL, and they played the same stage actually.
Yeah. How many stages were there back then?
Well, they didn't have Barton Springs across the road,
No,
which I
you
will
were-
say is pretty nice because I did say it was nice to see the spread out.
Yeah. So there's what, 8, 9, 10
There were
stages?
4 or 5 stages back in the day.
American
Right.
Express. Oh, Home Away. This year there's tons of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
This
then,
is actually
and
the
then,
second time I've ever been. The first
Okay.
time was years ago when
I mean, it's great.
going
I
to-
love
mean,
what
I don't
they
know
do.
who's not been
Look,
to a
they
music
raise so
festival,
much
but-
money for the city.
Yes. Okay.
It's
So
incredible.
Austin City
All these
Limits.
restaurants get to show off their food to 50,000 people a fucking day.
Yeah. So ACL
Like,
Fest
I mean, it's genius.
is
I'm just trying to figure out the music part.
is held.
Because-
ACL Fest is held at Zilker Park,
Yep.
which is our central park, like in New York. I mean, I guess it's, it's
It was the
equivalent.
Zilker's
Oh,
estate.
It is a
Gotcha.
huge. It's a public park right across the lake, Lady Bird Lake. That's what it's called now, downtown Austin, and it's over 100 years old. I mean, it was established way
Oh,
back. in-
Zilker's Park a long, long time ago.
Oh, son of a bitch.
On this table? Sorry. Yeah, Zilker Park was established a long time ago. I don't remember the exact date. But what's cool is Charles' great-great-grandfather was the one who was the groundskeeper.
Yeah. So the thing that's so impressive to me is that the people who, whoever got together, when New York City was being built and said, let's set aside this whole area to be a public land for generations to come, and whoever did that here in Austin, I appreciate, that they did that, to have a public natural space in the middle of a metropolis.
So it is 350 acres of publicly
Is
owned
it?
land.
Wow.
How many?
Andrew
350?
Jackson Zilker donated the land to the city in 1917.
Okay, so yeah, that's right, because they put the 100 out last year. It's 100 years, so 101
Wow.
this year.
that makes sense.
You can do your selfie with, oh my god, with 100 in Zilker Park.
That's funny.
And the Barton Springs pool was not recognizable until 1926. So that whole area has been just a little haven way for Austin scene
Yeah.
for a long time.
So the way I personally use Zilker Park is I would go out there for Stronghorn Fitness. They have a class every Saturday morning. There's now I'm just fat old dad.
I take our kids there.
Now-
We run the
yeah.
trail. I
Now
mean, I
there's-
meditate out there.
There's a trail that goes around the lake. There's
They keep it clean, man.
There's
Really.
The long center
Soccer,
now is backed up to
frisbee.
one side. You know, there's so much.
Yeah, and then the natural springs.
But let's get back to
Okay.
ACL. Let's get to the
Yeah.
nuts and bolts of the fucking festival because it is expensive now. It's $300-something, and
For a
it's
weekend.
like, man,
It's
for.
ridiculous.
I mean, I wouldn't say it's ridiculous, but I think it's worth it.
Wait,
But-
$300 a day or $300 a weekend, right?
A week,
380,
280.
Okay, that's not bad.
plus taxes and fees. It's a little over $300.
And I get early bird passes, which you get a discount for doing that. If you
Right.
pay,
Hmm.
you know, if you've been before, they'll invite you to.
Right, you get the
Tickets first.
invitation. Right, I think
I
it
sold a
comes out.
motorcycle, and part of the deal was to get 2 passes to the weekend.
Really?
Typically, I would never
And
go.
this-
I stay away from festivals. I generally don't like crowds, but I really, truly had a good time.
I
The reason why I
had a
don't
great
like
time,
it is
too.
I do not enjoy the rigmarole of getting in, getting out,
Yeah.
going to the
Yeah, me
bathroom.
too.
But to be honest, this year it really wasn't that bad.
Yeah.
It
The
wasn't that
urinal
bad.
setup was amazing. Where you could just walk through the fucking
Sure.
urinals and just
Yeah.
pee in a
That-
trough.
So over the course of time, they really have improved the
100%.
yeah. I mean,
The
more
establishment and the festival has increased its professionalism and
Yes.
environment.
food and comfort.
But let's talk about the main thing we're all there. Music.
yes.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you
Supposed
know,
to be
there
off
was a
music
lot of
today?
people that were like, I don't care to see Paul McCartney. And it's like, dude, do you know the fucking Beatles? Like, have you heard of them?
Oh yeah, I was at work yesterday, and they're like, I
Like,
went and saw
Sir Paul McCartney, knighted?
Yeah,
That would be
he's
the most important fucking night. He's like a god to
living
music.
legend. Like,
People are like, I don't give a fuck about Paul McCartney.
But you can't blame all the teeny boppers. There's so many young people.
But they have no
like,
appreciation.
who doesn't know the
music.
Beatles?
I know, that's true.
I
too.
barely know the Beatles.
You didn't want to stay there. You
Oh,
wanted to
one
go
of
see
them.
the other fucking band.
My
And you
mom
were
listened
drunk
to
and
that.
you didn't want to stay. And I
I
said,
love
well, let
it.
me
Okay,
get
but you know
5
what?
songs for my
So-
mother and my wife.
Let me
But-
say why I didn't want to stay at Paul McCartney's show at ACL Fest, because I went and saw him at the Frank Irwin Center, so Coliseum's setting, and
Indoor
it was an
setting.
older. It was an older crowd. It was real quiet, kind of low key, and I paid a lot for those tickets. But I'm like, I got to see this guy before he goes.
Yeah.
So I was not excited to see him at Zilker Park. But you know what? He fucking rocked it.
I know. And I
After
was
about
really
30
upset
minutes, I'm
that,
like, wait, I'm actually kind of okay.
Yeah,
Like,
and I
that's-
was really
that's
upset
good.
we didn't stay for the last hour part of the set. The last hour of the part of the set, he played like all the songs he wrote for the Beatles, and it was like,
Oh.
wow.
Really?
And played keys
Yeah, I
and
missed
like,
them.
did all that stuff.
Uh,
But then, like, okay, so then let's talk Saturday. So I went Saturday, and I brought Jack.
yes.
And I didn't meet up with you guys. Let me just say
I-
one thing about going with people. There's a few things we should say because it is a clusterfuck in the space. So one, have a plan. If you're
prepared.
gonna meet people there, have a plan and really stick to the time you're gonna meet and a location.
Yes.
Or
there's
carry
horrible-
something people can see. It sounds stupid,
There's
but
horrible cell service.
yeah, the service is better than it has been. But you can't send pictures, but you can text.
Yeah.
Or if you
And then-
really can go as a group, just suck it the fuck up. I'll be accountable for time. Get together, meet at a bar or whatever, and go together because it just gets real tense and stressful trying to find people to get to a certain show if you've ever been or haven't been. But to Saturday. So
Yeah.
Saturday this is why we all went different. I decided to go early with my son.
I was
Jack's
afraid
3.5.
it was gonna rain.
Yeah, Ryan was afraid he was gonna fucking melt. Even though, mind you, he
But
bought
there
all
was
these
two
he
great-
bought all these
well-
special boots at REI the day before.
Yeah,
But it's okay.
rain boots.
Oh,
That
But
was good. UT beat OU, and I
They
was watching that, and then the LSU game started, and then they
That was a
fucked it
great
up.
game.
But
Yeah.
I ended up staying longer and longer than I anticipated at
Yeah.
home. But you
Jack
had
and
a
I
wonderful
watched the game,
experience.
and then we went to ACL, and my wife was really
How old
nervous.
is Jack?
Jack's 3. Jack will be 4, November 24th, like real soon. And but anyway, yeah, so he's young, and ACL has this program called Tag a Kid.
Mm.
And I think it's genius. So kudos to ACL for having this Tag a Kid program. So you go to the main entrance that is off of Barton Springs Road, not the entrance we did, not the back
Yeah,
door.
the other one.
The main entrance off Barton Springs, there is a kid line that you can actually go,
Yes.
if you have your children, go in the kids section.
Yeah.
And you go to the general information desk. And right there, you will, when you activate your band, which you do before, which I thought was really weird to me, having to like sign up on a phone and activate a fucking band.
Well,
and
but
do-
an emergency contact. I mean, unfortunately, there was
it
someone.
was weird for me when I did it at the time, but when I got to tag my son, then I felt way more comfortable because I
Right.
scanned my band, okay, that scans to him, you put in his information. All I need is name and then you type in like key things: shirt, color, hair.
And it's free to bring your kids.
Serious? Wow.
So with each adult ticket, you could bring two
Two
kids
kids.
up to 11 years old. So I have a story about that in a minute, but
So what was really nice about it is, okay, so me as a dad feels comfortable, cool. His band is now tagged to mine, so if he gets lost and a cop finds him,
Right.
yeah,
they can just scan his thing, and what it does is it would either call me and text me. If I didn't get the information, boom, it's calling the wife saying, we got your son.
emergency contact. So, but what you talked to the police officer?
Yeah, so the cop was like,
Did you have an incident?
No.
realize it,
He was
but
like, "Thank you for being here and doing this."
Yeah,
and the
because
cop,
the cop was saying that they were grateful that they had it because they had been losing some kids.
Yes.
Some kids.
people are losing their kids.
Well, yeah, I mean,
They
there's
just run
50,000 people.
I know.
And it just
It's-
runs like.
Is that how many
so
people go? 50,000.
30 to 50,000.
Yeah, and then you turn around and then they're
Yeah.
like,
So, like, I'm
That
an
was
adult
me. I
trying to
lost
keep
you
with
guys.
adults, and we all lost each other. So imagine
Oh, yeah,
trying
how
to
many
keep with a
times
kid.
did I
But
lose you guys?
during the day,
Wow.
it's easier to keep with the kid. And then what was really great is there is a kid section
the kids
of
section.
ACL.
And what's even crazier, sitting in my office right now, which is in 501 Studios, East Side School of Music, which is, they have 5 studios here in the office. They had an entire drum circle.
Yeah.
So like 25 drums
All
were
of
out
this.
there, all the percussion instruments, dads, kids, moms, all of them were there. Their teachers were there, drumming away.
School of Rock has a
School of Rock
Has
had
a stage.
something. They had hair painting
cool.
there.
yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
it
Lisa
is-
Loeb was there at 4:30. I really wanted to see on Sunday, but the guys didn't want to go. You say
I totally would have gone.
only here.
If it became a thing, I'm like, oh my God.
you even did the run for it.
Especially.
So,
We gotta
Okay, so
run.
my story about the 2 free kids per ticket.
yeah,
2 years ago,
you only had 4 kids.
I only had 4 kids then.
So how do you pick? Like, which one goes? Right?
Well, there's
how do you
only
pick
4.
which one? You got so many.
Okay, so there's only 4. We were gonna bring the oldest 2, which at the time were probably like 10 and 6. So my wife and I, and that was my wife hates ACL. She's an introvert, and that's why I ended up going with you guys. But she was booking the sitter for the Saturday, I think, and I was booking the sitter for the Friday and the Sunday, and we both booked the sitter for Saturday, and no sitter for Friday. So when I thought the sitter was supposed to show up, I called him like, "Hey, are you gonna show up?" She's like, "Yeah, tomorrow." And I'm like, "Oh fuck." And so I looked at Laura and I'm like, "Let's pack up. Let's get all 4 kids and go to ACL." So we, at the split-second decision, decided to bring all 4 kids and had a great time.
Did
We
they
ended
have-
up at Major Laser, like at the end of the show,
Yeah.
walking out, and like we were so close to the gate, and Major Laser went boom, like dropped to the whatever beat, whatever,
Yeah.
and my kids went what? And we just stayed there and rocked out.
That's
and had the best time.
Did they have
So,
the tag a kid
but-
thing then?
Oh yeah. We went to the kid entrance, did tag a kid. They're all tagged.
So it's been a few
I'm an
years.
overprotective dad. Like,
Yeah,
oh yeah.
me too.
I was like, stay here. Get your
Yeah, you're
bracelets.
like
Get your
hurting
bracelets.
cats.
Did you have your beard
Yeah.
then?
Yes. Yeah, I did.
Gosh, no.
You actually got some beard people tagging you this week, didn't you?
One.
Oh.
I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, you got some people taking photos with you too.
How was your experience at ACL? Let's talk about it.
Oh god. Well,
Let's talk
it was-
about
Yeah,
you
'cause
just fucking
have you-
running off.
Have you been before?
Yeah.
Okay.
I went to a lot of music
I
festivals.
still don't know what happened.
Yeah.
So I had
I have a
no.
question.
You remember when
Actually,
you ran off?
If you guys ever been to
Oh.
Yeah, Coachella.
What
Yeah,
did
he
you
had
say?
he had a little medical incident.
Yeah, so
what
I was
happened?
low. I hadn't eaten all day. I drank 4 cups of coffee, two bullet coffees and 2 Americanos. Hadn't drinking barely any water,
Yeah.
and so I turn around. I tell Ryan, dude, I'm shaking. I feel weird.
And
And
his
then
lips
he
were
looks at my
pale.
lips and he was like, "Oh, dude, your lips are pale and you're
Yeah.
kind of shaking." And I was like, "Okay, am I having an anxiety
He's like,
attack?"
let's go.
I think it was something actually that what alleviated everything was I drank a bunch of water, then I drank Emergency,
Yeah.
and that kicked up my blood sugar. But I was in the middle of a crowd, I could not get out, and I was freaking out.
Well,
I saw you.
I started.
I saw you.
I
guys
started-
on that.
Yeah, remember?
Like-
Yeah,
I was
yeah,
like,
yeah.
what the fuck
What's
just
going on?
happened?
Yeah.
I just start. All I remember is just feeling like, uh-oh.
All right, so food for thought. Make sure you drink plenty of water
Yes.
and you eat food before you get there. It's a lot more walking than you think.
Yeah,
and
a
actually,
lot,
what's
and it's
funny?
hot.
Well, it's not funny, but I don't think you were there. Maybe
Which the weather
a
ended
group
up
of us
being
were sitting there
great
talking
this
to the
year
security guard.
again.
Yeah.
And the security guard said he had 2 people pass out right where we were standing
Yeah.
before
It's
him, and then all of a sudden the security guard had to take his
It's
ass.
about to be him, I guess.
So
It was
They
no,
brought-
people pass
they-
out, people faint.
You
Stay
noticed it
hydrated.
though.
Yeah, yeah.
Camelback.
I mean, your lips are going pink and the white. Like over, I'm like, let's go. And so we tried.
And you even felt my heart rate. It was
Good
going
thing you have a
pretty quick.
doctor.
Yeah,
Oh,
keep
yeah.
a doctor on
Yeah.
hand.
You gotta have a doctor
emergency
friend.
medicine.
So my heart was beating about 180 beats per minute. I kind of counted it. There's a special way, right? I was like,
Oh, so wait,
Checking
100.
your
But
pulse.
wait, he's asking to make sure.
it was like this.
That's okay. People ask. I'm here for. I'm here to answer questions. That's what I tell. They're like, is it? Can I? I'm here to answer questions.
And it was and he immediately reacted and took me in, and I told the security guard, and Ryan followed. But other than that, I had a good time. I think that with these guys, it was a lot more fun than I've ever had because you're hilarious. Ross is just hilarious all the time, and then he had poison ivy. So he was grumpy,
Did you really?
and then
Oh my God.
his eyes were on
it's better now.
fire, and then
We didn't do a show last week.
Thank God
it just
we did not.
fell apart. Like,
Yeah.
Rob wasn't feeling great. My
felt
schedule was crazy, and then Ross's face was just boop, fucked.
I have a question for
So
Rob.
I have a really bad
What's up?
poison ivy irritation. Like
Yeah.
I get it.
What's the question?
Let's go back to the music festival. Just a
Yeah.
quick
Yeah,
question.
yeah,
yeah. Oh, for
Coachella
sure.
or ACL? Which one would you prefer?
Which one?
Coachella.
Oh, I know.
Coachella.
So let's
Never
talk
been.
about that real quickly. Hold on, I
What
want to get
about
back
you?
to ACL about that too. Because
Yeah,
it's-
Lala. Is it Lollapalooza, ACL, or Coachella? Which one is the best one? Right?
I mean, I think
Don't get
they're
me
all the
started
same.
on Burning
Live
Man. I'm
Nation
not
and
gonna
C3 owns all
I've
three
never
of
been.
them.
Oh, do
It's
they?
the same. It's the same bands that go to all of them.
I'd love to go to the one in Chicago.
Oh, they're all done by C3.
Guys,
And
you know
Live
where we
Nation,
have
yeah.
to go?
Yeah.
We have to go to the
So-
Electric Forest.
But my thing is I wanted to touch base
The
on that,
Redwood-
and you
the
as a
Redwood
photographer,
Forest.
Where's
you
that?
can really shed light
Oh,
on.
California.
California, the Redwood Forest, they have an electric festival in the Redwood Forest.
Cool. Music.
I'd rather go to like
That would be cool. You would like that.
Tulum for that.
Because you'd see.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Tulum.
So what, the one that's in Chicago,
Yeah,
Lollapalooza.
Lollapalooza used to be a traveling music fest.
Really?
Yeah. Well, back in the day, yeah, I used to travel around the United States, and then they
Bonnaroo.
yeah, Bonnaroo.
Have you ever
Well, there's-
shot any
They
music
had
festivals?
that women's
No.
festival they used to travel around too.
Not an event.
You
Not a
have?
big event
Really?
photographer anyway.
Hmm.
But my brother lives in Chicago, and he takes his wife every single year. They're always at Lala.
But the weather is great there.
During that festival, sure.
So my buddy used to do all the. He used to own a company like Austin iPhone Repair. And it was a door-to-door service of repair services for iPhones. We're talking since like Gen 2. And he fixed for years all of them for C3 for every festival. So he would get like 20 badges,
Yeah.
and he would have like 10 techs and then 10 friends, but the techs would be at every stage. So if a band member or a tech guy or whatever broke a screen, he was right there to fix it. So it's
Mhm.
like, artists or VIPs, whoever broke their phone, would always have a free phone fix. That was like a service C3 provided. But now it's just not
That's
cost
interesting.
effective. I mean,
Yeah,
That's
it's,
interesting.
Who are the C3 guys? Charles.
I can't remember Charles's last name. I'm having a brain
Yeah,
fart, but he's one of the oldest families here in town. It doesn't matter. But
Cool guy.
Alright, client.
It doesn't matter.
Who was your favorite band to see or
Mm.
act? I mean, I guess they're not a band.
Shaky Grace.
You-
We didn't even see him, did we?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you guys lost me.
Charles Attell.
Charles
I lost
Attell.
you.
Yeah.
I was like, I can't
Great
think of
guy.
the last name. Yeah, I couldn't think of the last name.
Funny
His
enough.
family's been here forever.
Mhm.
But it's so cool just to see that, all the things that he could have done, right? Put the festival
So
anywhere in the
one-
city. He
one-
decides to put it in like great grandpa's backyard.
Yeah. So tell
That's so cool to me.
us about that. That was, I
don't
didn't
know
even
much
understand
about it
all this
except that
whole
his
connection.
His great
Yeah, you do.
his great grandfather, his great grandfather was the groundskeeper for the Zilker estate.
Yeah.
So he oversaw the land. He lived on the land. He took care of the grounds.
Yes.
Like people took care of estates.
Yeah.
He took care of the land.
A
then-
groundskeeper, literally.
Literally, the
Yeah.
groundskeeper. So
That's a
it's
great
just
story,
real
man.
cool to be able to come
And he-
back and be like, this was my great grandfather's ground. Like,
And so,
obviously, and what was neat is when the
That's pretty
mudslide happened, Charles came back and replanted the sod. Like,
so
Pretty
there's a ton of negativity to give back to C3. They're like, you're ruining the park.
it's his fucking
one
great
year-
grandfather's park.
Well, one year there was the dust year where all the grass just went away under people's feet, and then there was the mud year.
Right.
Uh,
How beautiful was it this year? I didn't have my shoes on the entire fucking
Yeah.
yeah. So
I noticed that.
the entire time.
C3 and ACL Fest, they vow to leave Zilker better than when they found it each year. So they went in, they put in a whole irrigation system, ripped all the grass, put in fresh grass, and usually I think after each year they redo the grass.
Yeah.
I mean, the grass is
Bro,
miraculous.
dude.
Speaking of grass, a lot of
They
people
don't
smoking
allow
there.
glass in the
What?
park. So
Yeah,
Ross did not have his shoes on the entire time, and it's just this puffy green,
Yeah,
wonderful
people
grass.
were kind of like freaking
And
out,
then-
like wanting to know like why I didn't have my shoes on. I was like, guys, you're in like God's earth, like listening to music, like let your
With
soul
beautiful
fully
sunshine.
vibrate and ground into the ground.
I had a lot of fun.
But-
and the
like,
festival was great.
Insulated rubber boots on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
dude.
He likes to have
I
a
cannot
plan. I
stand
don't.
wet feet.
I just
So-
like to go with the flow.
That's how.
So-
Get there and just go.
Besides what the festival brings into the city of Austin with just the people being here and
Yeah.
spending money, the festival specifically raises like millions of dollars, you said. Or like,
I mean, just think about it. It's 30,000 people, $300 a ticket.
No, it's
Yeah.
great for the city.
So,
There's no doubt.
anyway,
about it.
Okay,
It's-
so just do the
it's-
math.
okay, well, we're explaining for
Yeah.
them, but it's
And so, but what's more better? Forget the fucking money. You're getting so much.
we're entrepreneurs.
You're getting so much diversity in the city at one time to meet new people, explore, exchange ideas,
Yeah.
get to commerce. Like, yes,
Yeah.
we did see
Which-
that one night. That one girl came straight through and was like, boom, to that dude. Remember?
Oh, I totally forgot about that.
Remember?
Now.
That
She-
guy,
she, like,
just, that
cold
girl,
cocked
just
him.
all of a sudden comes straight through, and it's just
Just
like,
punches this dude.
We were
he
talking-
knocked out
we-
right in
what?
front of us at Millennium.
We were like,
Why
she
is
was
right,
spraying-
and
why
like-
she do that?
She was spraying water on everybody, and he got
Oh,
she got
and
mad.
he got
He was
mad.
just being nice.
Oh, he was.
Yeah,
He was like
That's right.
spraying the mister, and she
Yeah.
turned around and
Straight up
just
punched
was
her.
like.
That's not even right. Like he's just trying to help you. Okay.
But that was the only thing I saw that was
Yeah.
like
Well,
negative.
speaking of things we saw at ACL when I went with my kids that 1 year, right when we were leaving, there was some drunk, early 20-year-old girl on the ground, and the EMS was around her. I'm like, hey kids, like get a good eyeful, because that's why you don't drink too much. Like
Yeah.
you do it in moderation, and they still talk about that poor girl, but.
Oh my
I'm
god.
sure she was fine, but don't drink too much.
Yeah.
Right? Ever. Festival, otherwise.
Yeah.
you can't enjoy it, dude. I
Yeah.
don't know. What was your
But-
drink of choice?
Sorry.
What was your drink of choice?
Oh.
Gin and tonics as
Yeah.
usual.
What about the
Oh, did they have that out there?
In the C3.
Oh,
So-
okay.
oh, somebody had a press pass.
Sorry.
That wasn't a press pass, but it was
You
really,
could have
really
took
cool.
photos. No, you didn't want to. You
No.
Yeah, so let's talk about that.
To be
I'm trying
able to
get
even
that.
to take a professional photographer or camera inside the festival, you have to have a media badge.
Oh,
Yeah,
Media.
that's hard to
Media.
get.
Weston had one.
Yeah.
But let's talk about that from a photographer's perspective. You said you've only been to 2, but you've probably been to many. I've been to several. You've been to a lot of ACLs. You've been to ACLs. Let's talk the fashion. Let's talk about
Yeah.
that.
Crop tops, Daisy Dukes.
Cut off.
Yeah.
Oh.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah,
That's
Uh,
how they
there's
go, dude.
Sparkle ponies.
I didn't.
Sparkle
yeah.
ponies.
I mean, it's nothing like Burning Man, which we talked about that
Right.
weeks ago,
Jeez,
but
there.
There
I feel
is-
like it was pretty.
there is festival fashion. Like,
Dude, there
I
was a
used
lot
to-
that was
For
like,
sure.
like too much, and then there were people that just didn't care. That were like,
Yeah.
there was a lot of cool shit.
but there was a lot of cool
A
shit.
lot of hats.
Well,
Like
sun's
not just
out.
baseball
Oh,
caps. I'm talking like
right.
real caps. Like
Yeah.
not cowboy hats, not baseball caps. Like nice
Stylish.
fedoras, stylish hats.
Which is
which
that
you
hipster
see it
festival
now
look.
everywhere.
Yeah.
But you're now starting to see it again. And it's cool because it's like
Fall
a resurgence.
fashion.
Like, sure, I've worn hats at one time, never really publicized it, but then now I'm wearing them more and more on a regular basis. I'm talking real caps, and now I'm making my own.
So a hat with a brim all around, you still call
Yeah,
it a
like-
cap?
That's a hat.
Oh, okay.
This is a cap.
Yeah. Okay. I thought maybe.
No.
thought-
No. More people are wearing. Less and less people are wearing these, and more people are wearing like hats.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming
And
back. European style.
I don't know. I liked wearing linen. If I ever go to a festival again, I'm not.
Oh,
gonna do
yeah.
this, but that-
What'd you-
Check out
is
our
that linen
picture
that-
on the Instagram page.
linen
Ross
killer?
on Sunday wore one of his own linen suit designs, and
I could just.
what were people telling you?
Oh my god! I mean, I got stopped. A lot of people were just like, "Dude, that's fucking," whatever.
Yeah, it got more attention than my beard.
did.
And it was kind of hipsters. I mean, whatever. It was.
You're about to say something about linen.
But what I was gonna get at is like, so festival guys, it's cool to look cool for sure.
Yeah.
But like, I get it, especially if you're an influencer. And what I was trying to get at with you and ask the question was, did you notice that like, the scene is more about the scene than the music? How long was the line for the goddamn ACL frame?
I don't get
That's
that.
true. I saw that. No, you're right. You're absolutely right. A lot of people's motives are to, again, portray a life or a lifestyle that they want to, show. Which truly maybe
we
it's not
both
about the
did that
music, but-
to a certain degree.
Sure.
We both, played up our strong
For sure. I mean, I wore
Sweet.
my own clothes that one day, but also the other 2 days I wore my own clothes. I did some publicized. So like those jeans are all mine. Like the shirt from day one was mine. Just the shirt second day wasn't mine. But then I said third day, fuck it. I kept telling Aaron, I was like, I'm going in a linen set. Like, I actually want to wear some festival garb of my own that I have sitting in my closet.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there literally analyzing festival garb. Like, what the fuck is festival? Like, it's so stupid. Like,
really?
But
I love it.
what I'm saying is it's become
Pretty fun.
it's become a thing.
Yeah.
Well, I mean,
Right.
Because there's
you gotta let the kids have fun. You know?
There was
I mean,
a
come
certain
on. They
zone-
want to get dressed up. They want to look good. They want to
Right.
feel good. Sure, they want to be
What
seen.
I'm saying is I'm a creature
Oh,
of it too. I'm
there
like
was-
sitting here like I was doing it.
There was
Right,
one
and
guy
I-
that had a shirt that said "Jesus Christ loves trap music" or something. I
Oh,
was
really?
like,
That's great.
That is
I like your Dare
I took a
shirt.
picture with
Oh,
him.
yeah.
You wore your Dare shirt what on Saturday, I guess.
Yeah, I
that
think
was a
so.
good Dare shirt. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, we're a
Just
Dare
gotta bring
shirt.
that back.
You wore linen too.
I
I mean,
did. I wore a
so.
polo. It was like Ralph Lauren. It was really nice.
But what I
That's
was,
right, yeah.
What I was getting at is like, make sure you wear something comfortable. Fashion's great. Be
Yeah.
fashionable for sure. Because come play the game, it's fun.
Yeah.
And if you're
But there were a lot of girls in these like fucking like shooty booties or whatever. they're
Yeah,
called,
the
heel boots,
heels.
and you're watching these girls like trying to tromp up the hills, and I'm like, that cannot be comfortable for 4
It
hours,
wasn't. It
5
was
hours.
terrible.
Like,
Or what? I mean, the festival opens at 11 and it closes around 10. So I mean,
I don't
if
even
you
know
go
how
all
people stay
day,
there all day.
I don't know.
It was hard. I don't know either.
Well,
I don't even
okay,
drink
so,
alcohol.
so
So I was like,
I-
worn
well,
out.
okay. Well, the reason I say it that way is because I used to work at an ER over in Westlake, which is on the other side of the park, and then down in San Marcos. And I got a lot of festival goers who were like dehydrated and
Yeah.
done, and like they didn't overdo like alcohol or anything. They're like, yeah, let's get out there at 11 a.m. when the gates open, stay all day. Nah.
It was just way
But
too
you
much.
can come and go. That is
3 times.
So
per day?
imagine that.
3 times per day.
Which
As
is
long
still
as you
great.
scan out.
Yeah.
As
Yeah.
long as you scan out, you can go 3 times a day.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
have
and that
fun,
scanner
be
bracelet's
safe,
really
be
cool.
fashionable.
Yeah. Okay.
A lot of food. There's like 30 restaurants to choose from. And I don't even drink it. I'll tell you right now, the fucking beer house is pretty damn cool.
Yeah.
They had
It
the
is
Cowboys
good.
game on. They had the UT game on.
Yeah.
So,
the beer
like,
hall.
The beer
Yeah.
hall. The
Yeah.
huge, massive beer hall. And again, a bunch of, I mean,
Plenty of covered, shaded area to hang
yeah,
out.
they really do give back a lot. And
Yeah.
and the ticket value is definitely worth it.
I think it's worth it.
I just remember it, man, when it was just
Yeah.
fucking
So
show up and
All
sit
right.
on the lawn smoking.
yeah, man, ACL Fest. Go if you're good in town or you want to check it out. Go this next weekend.
If not,
again,
get ready for next year. Sign
they're-
up for your link now for early bird. You said for
Mhm.
discounts.
No, well they'll email it out. I think it's.
Yeah, they usually
like,
email
it's like
it.
the Monday after
Or-
actually.
Yeah, it's like this next week. So
Yeah.
just go sign up if you want the early bird because the early
It's
bird
cheaper.
price is coming soon. It's like
yeah, and you can even do a
$40
a payment plan. You could like pay a third of it a month for 3 months, and I do it like because there's no interest. I'm like, screw it, I'll do the
Yeah,
payment
why
plan.
not?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it just automatically draws off the card. But we do not have any endorsement from ACL Fest. We are just Austinites who love the fest.
Mhm.
So check it out.
Yeah.
We're gonna be on next week.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Ross's
man. Appreciate
birthday.
it.
We've got a really special. We're not going to announce who's coming next week because this is fucking surprise.
But we're
But I will
spreading our
tell you,
horizons.
it is very uncommon.
Oh yeah, it is.
With that
And what better yet to have it on my birthday? So,
Episode
thanks,
10.
Daniel, for
What's up?
coming.